Well. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you see this video, or if you on my live page. Hey, listen, I need you guys on my live page. Just check this thing out. But listen, okay. Good morning. We're going to go back into what we're talking about: scaling up this morning. Look, listen. So it's talking about really scaling up is dependent on from here and there, so I'm be going back and forth. So anyway, sustaining entrepreneur growth. We're going to talk about this morning, this evening, whenever you see this, growth strategy. Let me turn this down just a little bit. Let me just put it down just a little bit. Okay, that should be good. So we're going to talk about growth strategy. Let's talk about growth strategy. By definition, okay? By definition, strategy is what differentiates a business in a way that confers a competitive advantage. I'm going to say that again. By definition, we talk about strategy. Strategy is what differentiates a business in a way that confirms a competitive advantage. It gives you your strategy should give you when you talk about a robust revenue growth, it's evident that your strategy is working. Out there, you can see it. It's big. When your robust revenue growth is growing. You made $100,000 this year, you made $200,000 last year, and so forth. It's evidence that your strategy is working. The question is this: how much longer will it continue working? I'll wait. How much longer will it continue working? I'll wait. Answer that to yourself. Perhaps your strategy is based on a new and superior product or technology, or on your ability to deliver an ordinary product or service at a lower price, or in a manner that is extremely convincing for customers. I'm going to say that again. Perhaps your strategy. What is your strategy based on? Is it based on lower pricing? Is it based on the value? What is your product or service, or what is your strategy based on? So let me ask you this: what happens if your competitor improves their offerings, their technology maturity, the new technology arises, or the content changes in some way? What happens if your competitor start doing stuff better? What happens if your competitor matures in the way it does stuff? What happens if the contents that you're putting out, right, the competitor changes it? So we got to ask ourselves, few strategies are sustainable over the long term. I'm going to say it again. Few strategies are sustainable over the long term. Eventually, some change will undermine the competitive advantage. Listen, you done started your business, things is rolling, and then all of a sudden, you're saying, what happened? You've been stuck on this one strategy. Matter of fact, you're not even seeing no growth. But you do see growth, and all of a sudden, it just baselines. You see, so let me say this again. Eventually, some change will undermine the competitive advantage. The competitive advantage that you have, watch this, you just can't stay in that one place. Because your competitor is changing, things are changing. For instance, new regulations, deregulation, the introduction of new and superior technology or new processes for making products faster, cheaper, or better. Different services. People expand their services. In other cases, an entrepreneur, watch this. This is real simple because I'm going to say this very slowly. In other cases, an entrepreneur firm such as yours creates a new market. Okay? If that new market is profitable and expanding, other entrepreneurs will recognize its potential and enter with products or services of their own. You know how you always say, I'm the only one doing it? No, you're not the only one doing it. You know how you're saying, well, you're the first one out there and you're doing it and you're killing it? But you got to realize people come and study you. See, one of the things you should be studying your competitor. Yeah, your competitor is studying you. So when your competitor or other entrepreneurs see that this thing is working, and let me give you a little sidebar. Most of the time, if you're the first, you probably not, a lot of times you don't make all the money because someone comes behind you, right, and improves on what you do. Because you got stuck, you stayed right there. Let me give you an example. Okay, let me give you an example. The market for home video is a good example. I don't know why everybody uses Blockbuster, right? I look at board trainings, and when they start talking about scaling up or being stuck and not being able to scale up, they always use Blockbuster. Blockbuster, founded in 1985, was by 1993 the market leader in home movies and game rentals, with its brick and mortar stores almost in every town across America. I used to go to Blockbusters. I'm telling you, Blockbusters had it popping, had it going on. It was rolling. Everybody went and got your DVDs, videos. You went and got your videos from Blockbuster. Everybody had an account. Everybody, at some point, you got to take something back on time. You just check it. Anyway. But when Netflix, watch this, when Netflix introduced its mail service video program in 1999, remember you could get on things and they could mail it to you from Netflix videos and stuff like that, right? Watch this, okay? Excuse me, I forgot my water. But anyway, when Netflix introduced a mail-in service video in 1999 with no late fees and a much greater variety of videos available, it began making inroads on Blockbuster's business. I mean, it started, remember you got the late fee if you brought the thing late? Well, no late fees, no things like that was coming straight to you. Netflix did. Additionally, watch this, competition, watch this, from Redbox and on-demand cable companies further challenged the brick and mortar which was brick and mortar of Blockbuster. So Blockbuster was first. Now you got other people coming behind them who improved on what Blockbuster was doing. And despite Blockbuster's trying to go online, right? Blockbuster started closing down around 2006. You remember all of a sudden you couldn't find a Blockbusters in 2013. They was going all together. Think about that in your business. Think about where you are. So we're talking about scaling up. We're talking about sustainability. We're talking about growth strategy. What is your growth strategy to grow when your competitors are doing stuff? Blockbusters did not have a growth strategy. Now, could this happen to your business? To sustain growth, keep looking several steps ahead. See, you might be right here. One thing I always say, you know, when you start talking about your structure, strategy, system, and sales, when you start talking about business, you have to understand, right? When you start doing good, at that peak, you need to start looking for another audience. You need to look for another audience. You need to look for another market group, right? To keep you going. Because what happens when you max out on the people that you're selling to? Or what happens when, like I say, this competitor start doing things that's different from you? Now you're behind. You're trying to catch up. You're trying to get into a place that you started that now you done got put out. To sustain growth, keep looking several steps ahead. Recognize patterns in your industry to anticipate solutions offered by your competitors. Okay? What are the people that you're going up against? The competitors, what are they doing? What are they trying to do? you stay on this course, I'm making money. And here goes another sidebar. If you're a first-time entrepreneur and you start making money, and maybe you're making six figures, and you think you're making money, but are you really making money based on like what real money is? It's just new money to you. Right? I made that big mistake when I started making $300,000 a year with my program. All of a sudden, but I made that $350, $375 for 3 years in a row. I thought I was doing something. I didn't understand at the time that I wasn't growing. And then people started copying my model. You know? So let's keep going. Let's keep going. So to sustain growth, keep looking several steps ahead. Recognize patterns in your industry to anticipate solutions offered by your competitors. Find ways to bar the door to new competitors, to shut the door. Try to keep new competitors out what you're doing. Netflix customers found Netflix found it easy to switch their video watching habits from DVDs to movies, streamlined directly and immediately to devices in your homes. See, Netflix already, they was getting the DVDs and so now they got a step closer. Okay, how can I take this directly to your house without you ordering stuff, without you, having to go through the hassle of returning the videos and all that stuff? Okay, let me put this on your TV. Let me create a device that I can put on your TV that you can sit in the confounds of your home, right? You can pay me once a month, right? And bam. So what they did was they started building their own original content division. We always talk about contents. Is your contents original? What? See, what happened was Netflix controlled the contents and the distribution mechanism to customers. It controlled what you were hearing. And watch this. It controlled how they distribute it. See, they went from mailing to home to streaming, right? And they took the content. They were saying, this is how you do it. Wouldn't you like to be at the convenience of your home? No more mailing in, no more this, no more that. You don't have to worry about late fee. We can just put this in your house, and guess what? You can watch Netflix. As a matter of fact, they took it to your devices. Now you can watch Netflix on your phone, you can on your laptop, on your whatever that thing's called. tablet. The strategy, listen to me, the strategy which became a vicious circle that competitors had a hard time breaking into has placed Netflix as leaders in this industry. Now, since then, other places, Hulu and all those stuff, they finally have caught up or catching up to Netflix, but Netflix still, you know what I'm saying? So even though Netflix broke it down, now you have other competitors that are doing the same thing as Netflix. And then you got Roku, who just snatched everything. You can put everything on Roku. Roku, you remember how you had to get the little Roku box? Now you can buy the Roku TV, right? So you don't have to pay that extra money for the box and all that stuff, right? See, even though when we look at Netflix strategy, it might not be appropriate for us, right? But there's other ways to be the vendor of choice and to discourage rivals from entering your market. So we want to be the vendor of choice, right? But we don't want to have other vendors. We don't want to have competitors looking at our field, say, oh man, this is a lucrative field. Let me jump into this field. See, we want to set up something, right, that keeps people from not wanting to be a part of this field. So let me talk about a few things, right, that can help discourage somebody to doing what you're doing, okay? Because that's the reality. So number one, explore the learning curve. Write that down. Explore the learning curve. Explore the learning curve. If you are the first in the market, continual improvement in product design or service or manufacturing efficiently will show you, watch this, watch this, will allow you to offer your item for less and yet maintain the same profitability. Woo! I'm going to say that again. If you are the first in your market, continual improvement in product design, manufacturing, and service efficiently will allow you to offer your item for less and yet maintain the same profitability. See, late to the market competitors that fail to catch you on the learning curve will be doomed to slim profits or none at all. Staying a couple of steps ahead. What are your innovative approaches? What if you're scaling up? What are you doing to sustain yourself? Number two. Write this down. Number 2, don't price for maximum profits. Oh man, we have a real bad problem for that, especially people of my ethnicity. We want to price high. But watch this. Don't price for maximum profit. Didn't say not to price for profit. Just maximum profit. Watch this. Competitors are drawn to markets with high profit margins. Yeah. So now you have a lot of coaches, you have a lot of speakers, you have a lot of doing, like, they have shot this thing up to $4,000 or $5,000 for conferences and stuff like that. Okay. But what happened? And they making $50,000, $60,000. You know what? What happened if I just listen. Let me tell you a story real quick. When there was a need I was in Goldsboro, North Carolina, and at the time, this was in the 90s, a lot of churches and people wanted nonprofit organizations, wanted to become a nonprofit. But at the time, lawyers was charging $2,000, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. Most of these small organizations did not, have the money. So what happened was, there was a friend of mine who was trying for 15 years to get his nonprofit. I said, okay, I'll do it. So I self-taught myself how to do the 1023 form, how to do the bylaws, how to do the articles of incorporation, and how to get the tax ID number. This was like about 20 something years ago. But what I did, I only charged $500. So what happened was, I did the guy's paperwork, I sent it in, and the IRS came back with about 15 questions. Like, whoa, what did I do with this? But on there, they had a representative name. So I called the representative, and I went through every question, and guess what? They gave me the answer to every question. So when I realized that, I started understanding what they wanted and how to start answering questions. So what happened was, then I did another person, and then word of mouth started going out that I was doing. I was getting people their 501c3s for $500. So what happened was, I was making watch this. I was making as much profit as the $2,000 and the $1,500 lawyer was making, but I was averaging doing 4 a week, right? Making $2,000. But here's the thing: I had the ability to start finishing all your paperwork within 45 minutes. So technically, I'm charging $500 for 445 minutes. See, so I wasn't going for the maximum, but I was going for a profit. So when I started doing that, who wants to do this for $500? But now, 20 something years later, you can actually get a 501c3 done $500 or $600. Trust me, I'm not going down to $200-$300. I'm still $500-$600, right? So watch this. If you are the first in your market, you can make the market unappealing to rivals if you and your investors are willing to price low and accept a modest profit. Faced with modest profit, would-be competitors are likely to stay away. You see, so it ain't always about getting the maximum out of your profit. You still want to make a profit. Pricing right. You want to price your business right for you. Number 3, continually refresh offer to customers. Continually refresh your offer to customers. Continually refresh your offer to customers. Think of all the ways you can make your product or service more appealing. by adding new features or color choices, lowering the pricing, making it more convenient to purchase, eliminating quality problems, or providing amazing customer service? What are some of the things that you can offer more to your customer? And think more broadly. Think more broadly. How can you reinvent your product or service to solve an as yet unmet customer need? What can you do if there's an unmet need? How can you serve that customer with your product or service? So constantly refresh. Do new things, do innovative things. Look, be broad, get outside of the box. Don't just do holiday specials. Come up with different specials that you might want to do, right? And lastly, be consistently or continually vigilant about competition. What does that mean? As you grow, who is going to notice you and try to stop you? As you grow, who is going to notice you and try to stop you? When I was telling you with my shared living program, boy, people was coming after me. I had the apartment. I had the whole block full. Man, people was coming after me, trying to steal clients and the whole nine. I mean, it was going crazy. I understand that process. So how can you change course or refine your strategy, avoid or beat competitors' challenges? So look, I mean, people were just putting up shared living programs all over the place. So what I did was I had to shift gears so now the only thing I do is I train you and teach you how to set them up and run them. So I just took it another step further because since people want to do it, but let me show you how to do it right. Because a lot of them that was opening up, they were trying to follow the model, right? But they were jacking up the whole system because they thought they knew what they was doing. But the reality was they were taking customers. They were getting clients. So I had to stay one step ahead, less overhead. Let me just train y'all. Let me just teach you. At one point, I went into people investing and running them. Now I don't even do that no more. I don't want nobody to look. I don't want you to be an investor so that I can set up piles for you. No, I'll just teach you, and you can be a part of a franchise. But I'll just teach you how to do it. So I had to stay one step ahead. So that's where I'm at today. So look. Such innovations can create barriers to competition or make you the vendor of choice in a crowded field. Together, they will help you sustain growth. So guess what? In the field of homelessness, in the field of housing, there's really nobody in comparison to what I do. And our incubation acceleration program for what business model and strategies and growth building at the same time. We're in a class all by ourselves. People do it differently, but my main niche, my main target population is for new startups, for people who, don't have a clue how to do it, trying to figure it out, and for struggling small businesses that want to change, that wants to understand the structure, strategy, system, and sales. For those of business that are in place that don't understand about scaling up, understanding growth strategies, understanding that you have to be able to, what's the impact of your growth, right? So that's just what I'm teaching. And then, in my class, in my incubation class, right, is what do you do with an idea? With opportunity, with business opportunities, right? Shaping a business opportunity. How do you shape a business opportunity? Building your business model and strategy. Building your business model and strategies, and then what? Shaping an opportunity. Man, it's so much that we're defining your business model, considering your business model, understanding the power of your business model, right? Defining your strategy, a plan for discovery. So many things that we're teaching you right now, right? The lean startup. Wow. Identifying a problem to solve. Shaping an opportunity, right? So these are all the things that we're teaching you guys. So let's just make this thing happen. Sustaining entrepreneurial growth. And I'm going to get ready to get out of here. In our next session, we'll be talking about expanding into new markets. Expanding into new markets. Hey, this your guy Ray, coming to you live all over from here. Where's here? Right here from the desk of Ray Wilkerson. And like we always say, look, go to my website. Go to our website. ExodusHouseATL.com for our acceleration and incubation program. For our financial solution enhancement program, go to Exodus Life Change. If you're about housing, if you want to house those that are coming out of prison and things like that, we have a Christian discipleship program. Go to ExodusHouseNO.com. Let me see if I can put my banner up on here for you guys real quick. Exodus Life Change for our financial solution and enhancement program. ExodusATL.com for our acceleration and incubation program, and Exodus House NO for our discipleship program if you're interested in trying to do that. Hey, this your guy Ray. Like I always say, God loves you and I love you, and guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it. Peace out. Holla.